from our Toronto studios. This is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I am Ahmed Ramadan. U.S. public support for Israel's genocide on Gaza drops to 32%, a record low. Only 8% of Democrats back it as Netanyahu's favorability falls to 29%. This and more coming up on today's show. Stay tuned. In a stunning admission, a former Israeli attorney general calls what's happening in Gaza a genocide. Michael Ben Yair, who served in the 1990s, wrote on X that Jews who suffered genocide are now committing it. His statement follows a report by Israeli rights group B'Tselem and Physicians for Human Rights, saying Israel is deliberately creating deadly conditions. Meanwhile, Gaza's health system has collapsed, and famine is worsening. Over 1,000 unarmed civilians have been killed by Israel at aid sites just trying to access food. Even former Prime Minister Ehud Olmert is calling Netanyahu's government a criminal gang. The genocide on Gaza is approaching its third year. Israeli settlers attacked a Christian village in the West Bank for the second time in 2 weeks. In Taibe, they torched cars and spray-painted racist threats. Afterwards, Israeli soldiers raided the village. Earlier this month, settlers set fire to the village church and its graveyard. Residents say they feel unsafe and unprotected. Some can't even access their farmland. The UN says settlers have carried out more than 1,200 violent acts against Palestinians just this year. Over 100 French lawyers want the International Criminal Court to investigate President Emmanuel Macron. They accuse him and several top ministers of helping Israel commit war crimes in Gaza. The lawyers say France kept sending weapons and gave political cover even as civilians' deaths mounted. They argue that helping genocide makes you part of it. The complaint also blasts the pro-Israel lobby group Elnet for influencing lawmakers. Senator Bernie Sanders is pushing Congress to block new arms sales to Israel. He says the Netanyahu government is starving civilians and must be held accountable. Sanders wants to stop a $675 million weapons package and thousands of rifles. He says U.S. taxpayers shouldn't bankroll war crimes and that it's time to use America's leverage to end the killing in Gaza. Human rights organizations contend that Sanders' constant framing of the conflict as Netanyahu's war while defending Israel's right to self-defense undercuts accountability for larger Israeli state actions. American public support for Israel's genocide in Gaza has dropped to 32%, the lowest according to Gallup. That's down from 50% last fall. Only 8% of Democrats support the war now. Republican support rose slightly, but independents are also turning away. Prime Minister Netanyahu's popularity is sinking too. Just 29% of Americans view him favorably. The poll comes as Israel faces genocide charges in international court. Hundreds of starving Palestinians gathered at an aid distribution site near Gaza's Zikim crossing on Tuesday, desperate for small amounts of flour. Footage showed chaotic scenes as people pushed towards the limited supplies delivered under Israel's tightened blockade. Israel has sealed Gaza's borders since March 2nd, worsening an 18-year siege and triggering a humanitarian catastrophe. The health ministry says at least 147 people, including 88 children, have died of starvation since October 2023. Zoran Mamdani is leading the NYC mayoral race by 28 points, outpacing rivals like Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams. Details coming up next.
Muna Convention 2025 is coming, and you don't want to miss the event of the year. With over 25,000 attendees, it's one of the largest annual gatherings of American Muslims. This isn't just a convention, it's a celebration of faith, learning, community, and inspiration. Join world-renowned speakers, This is your moment to reconnect, reflect, and be inspired. From youth programs and college sessions to daycare, Quran competitions, and talent shows, there's something for every member of the family. Shop the Bazaar and Expo with over 200 vendors featuring faith-based products, books, gifts, and cultural treasures. Visit municonvention.com to register now. Spaces are filling fast. We can't wait to welcome you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We welcome you all to the Muna Convention.
Join thousands of Muslims from across the nation, uniting for a powerful calling to be the torchbearers of Islam.
Unity is power.
We center Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything else, my dear brothers and sisters, becomes centered.
It starts inside of us. We are the change.
Put the man together and the world will automatically come together.
Teach the recitation of the Quran. Teach hikmah. Purified mankind. Purified the society.
This is how they lived their lives. A life of devotion, of beautifulness, of faithfulness, of commitment to Allah Azza wa Jalla.
So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us a community of leadership, a community that holds this amana, this trust of this beautiful message, a community that stands for good, that enjoins good, that forbids evil, together, that honors its elders, that inspires its youth. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to continue the youth movement.
August 8th through 10th at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. 3 days to recharge your soul, to connect, reflect, and grow. This is more than a convention. This is a call. Register now at www.municonvention.com.
Welcome back. President Trump has slapped 25% tariff on all Indian imports starting Friday. He says India's trade barriers and ties with Russia are the problem. The move is harsher than what other Asian countries face. Trump also claims he got India and Pakistan to agree to a ceasefire earlier this year, using trade as leverage. 252 Venezuelan migrants jailed in El Salvador say they survived hell. They were arrested during Trump-era crackdowns and wrongly accused of gang ties. The prison was overcrowded, violent, and filthy. Some faced abuse and had no legal help or visits. Trump's administration reportedly paid El Salvador $6 million to hold them. Most were targeted for having tattoos. The Trump administration wants to scrap a key climate rule. The EPA plans to repeal the endangerment finding, which lets it regulate greenhouse gases from vehicles. EPA Chief Lee Zeldin says it'll save money and end uncertainty for automakers. Critics say it guts the EPA's authority to fight climate change. Trump has already pulled out of the Paris climate deal and rolled back other climate protections. Zoran Mamdani has a strong lead in the race for New York City's mayor. A new poll shows him 28 points ahead of the pack, including Andrew Cuomo and Mayor Eric Adams. Even in hypothetical matchups, Mamdani wins. Cuomo struggles with high unfavorability and only becomes competitive if everyone else drops out. Mamdani leads with Jewish voters under 45 despite criticism of his Gaza stance. Far-right activist Laura Loomer is facing backlash for spreading false, racist claims after a deadly shooting in NYC. A former football player killed 4 people, including Muslim officer Didarul Islam. Authorities say it wasn't political, the suspect had brain trauma. But Loomer falsely blamed Muslims and the Free Palestine movement. She called the shooter a jihadi and attacked mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani with Islamophobic slurs. Critics say she's inciting hate. India's Assam state is demolishing homes and deporting Bengali-speaking Muslims, displacing thousands. Over 3,400 homes have been destroyed. Over 1,500 people were pushed into Bangladesh, often without due process. Critics call it religious profiling. Human Rights Watch says it's the worst crackdown in decades. Bangladesh has formally protested the pushbacks. Scientists in Australia found a natural way to boost wheat's nutrition, no additives needed. A soil fungus called Rhizophagus irregularis helps wheat pull more zinc and phosphorus from the ground. The result, healthier, larger grains. It's low-cost, sustainable fix that could help fight global nutrient deficiencies without chemical fortification. Mambu just launched a major upgrade to its Islamic banking platform. The fintech firm wants to help banks offer Sharia-compliant products faster and more efficiently. The platform now supports profit sharing, murabaha, mudaraba, and more. It's aimed at banks in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia that want to go digital and stay ethical. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.